Welcome to our video on 6 foods that raise your blood sugar and make you age faster. It shouldn't come as a surprise to learn that the very same types of foods that can raise your blood sugar and heighten your insulin resistance also have the ability to accelerate your aging. In fact, studies show that blood sugar imbalance is one of the main factors which contributes to early aging. But what exactly is behind, or rather, within certain foods to cause wrinkles, arthritis, chronic elevated blood sugar levels, and the risk of an early grave? As the saying goes, you are what you eat, and putting these unhealthy foods into your body will only serve you to prematurely age your body. So, let's not waste any time. Here are 6 foods that raise your blood sugar and make you age faster. When it comes to foods that may cause early aging and increased diabetes complications, the first food to avoid isn't actually a food, it's sugary soft drinks. Of course, many popular sodas are already well known for their extremely high levels of simple sugars, which can wreak havoc on your glucose control. And naturally or unnaturally, they can lead to a multitude of issues which shorten your lifespan. In fact, a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition concluded that there is a direct link between high sugar intake and premature aging. Most popular soft drinks are full of added sugars, especially fructose. This type of sugar can be especially harmful for diabetics, as it is rapidly absorbed into the bloodstream and stored as fat in the liver. In fact, the journal Cell Metabolism found that high intake of fructose and high fructose corn syrup, often used in these sugar-heavy drinks, has been found to contribute to insulin resistance and chronic inflammation, both markers of early aging. And fructose is associated with several other age-reducing diseases, including liver disease, obesity, cancer, and heart disease. This liquid sugar can also lead to a process called glycation, where sugar molecules bind to proteins to produce advanced glycation end products, dangerous compounds that can degrade your collagen. Collagen is a protein that helps maintain skin elasticity, and its degradation can lead to skin aging issues like wrinkles, fine lines, and skin sagging. Plus, caffeinated drinks, including many sodas, may increase urination, leading to fluid loss and dehydration, which can further contribute to the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Meanwhile, the acidity of soda drinks can damage the enamel on your teeth, which can create discolorations and tooth decay. This will prematurely age your smile and make you appear older than you actually are. On top of all that, soft drinks typically contain phosphoric acid, which gives them their tangy flavor. But this ingredient has been found to accelerate aging in your bones. In fact, the journal Osteoporosis International reported that excessive intake of phosphoric acid can lead to a decrease in bone mineral density and may increase the risk of bone fractures and age-related osteoporosis in older adults. What other drink can prematurely age your body? That's just ahead. But first, let's talk about another common food that is dangerous for your blood sugar and your longevity. White bread. What's so wrong with this lunchtime staple? Unlike whole grain breads, white bread is highly processed, and it has most of its beneficial nutrients stripped away. That includes the fiber of whole grains, which normally helps to stabilize post-meal blood sugar levels. But refined wheat flour, or white bread, is high glycemic index, as it holds a huge helping of simple carbohydrates, and not much of any nutrition. So even 2 small slices can lead to a rapid blood sugar spike. So eating too much white bread can contribute to chronic high blood sugar and heightened insulin resistance. Chronic high levels of insulin in your bloodstream not only increases the risk of type 2 diabetes, it also contributes to heart disease and obesity, all of which can shorten your lifespan. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation confirmed that higher insulin levels are linked with accelerated aging. White bread has also been shown to be an inflammatory food. An American Journal of Clinical Nutrition study showed that eating large amounts of high glycemic index foods, especially white bread, can increase inflammatory markers in the bloodstream. This inflammation can damage muscle cells and tissues over time, thus contributing to aging issues like arthritis and sagging skin. Inflammation can also play a role in the development of deadly diseases, including cancer and Alzheimer's. Plus, while whole grains supply essential nutrients that combat oxidative stress, refined white flour is devoid of these age-slowing antioxidants. A study in the journal Oxidative Medicine and Cellular Longevity concluded that regularly eating refined carbohydrate foods like white bread can increase oxidative stress levels, thus speeding the aging process and raising the risk of age-related diseases. Furthermore, the journal Nutrients showed that regularly consuming refined carbohydrates can contribute to the degradation of collagen, thus lead to those early aging signs like wrinkles, fine lines, and sagging. What other lunchtime staple food can greatly diminish your lifespan? Stay tuned to learn the truth. But first, what other type of drink can harm your blood sugar balance and your longevity? Be mindful to cut back on alcoholic beverages. Heavy drinking can accelerate aging through a variety of mechanisms. A main factor is that excessive alcohol consumption can induce oxidative stress inside your body. If there is an imbalance between free radicals, which are reactive molecules, and antioxidants, which are protective molecules, it can create this type of stress and may lead to cellular damage that speeds the aging process. Studies show that consuming alcohol leads to the formation of these free radicals inside the body and can contribute to oxidative stress and cellular damage in various organs like the liver, brain, and the skin. It can also damage multiple age-related components in the body, including DNA, proteins, and lipids. Chronic alcohol consumption has also been shown to lead to chronic inflammation. Heavy drinking disrupts the immune system, thus impairing the body's ability to fight infections and reduce inflammatory responses. And chronic inflammation can lead to a host of early aging issues, including cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. Excess alcohol consumption can also prematurely age your brain. A 2019 study showed that chronic drinking can result in the shrinkage of the hippocampus, a region in the brain responsible for memory and learning. This can lead to memory impairment, cognitive decline, and several neurodegenerative diseases, including Alzheimer's. Studies further show that heavy drinking can disrupt sleep patterns, leading to poor sleep quality. This too can accelerate aging, as chronic poor sleep can damage your body's natural restorative processes. Plus, heavy alcohol consumption can have a noticeable impact on your skin. In fact, a recent study published in the journal Clinical Dermatology revealed that regular drinking can dehydrate the skin, disrupt collagen production, and deplete your body of certain essential skin strengthening nutrients. So, sugary and alcoholic drinks do your blood sugar and your skin no favors. But what junk foods accelerate aging? If you want to extend your lifespan, you should stay away from deep fried foods. Like sugary sodas, deep fried foods supply those harmful advanced glycation end products. The process of deep frying, where unhealthy omega-6 fat cooking oils are heated to high temperatures, can create these harmful compounds, and over time, high consumption of AGEs can increase inflammation. And they are linked to other early aging issues like oxidative stress, heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, type 2 diabetes, and even renal failure. In fact, a study published in the journal Free Radical Biology and Medicine confirmed that oxidative stress from consuming fried foods and their AGEs increased the chances of cellular aging and age-related diseases. A diabetes care study further noted that higher AGE levels can contribute to increased skin stiffness and reduced elasticity, both signs of aging. Meanwhile, a study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants who ate high amounts of fried foods had shorter telomeres, a sign of early aging. Telomeres are protective caps at the end of chromosomes, which shorten as we age. Shortened telomeres are associated with cellular aging, age-related diseases, and decreased lifespans. Plus, the process of deep frying with the use of partially hydrogenated cooking oils can add trans fat content to the equation. A New England Journal of Medicine study directly linked high trans fat intake to inflammation, increased LDL cholesterol, heart disease, oxidative stress, and endothelial dysfunction, or damage to artery linings. These issues can all factor into accelerated aging. And of course, deep-fried foods also tend to be high in saturated fat and sodium, which can raise the risk of multiple early aging issues, including high cholesterol, heightened blood pressure, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. What is the type of food which may make you age faster than any other? The answer is just ahead. But now, speaking of sodium, are you worried about early aging? Be mindful to avoid salty snacks. It may be hard to resist these treats, including potato chips, crackers, and movie theater popcorn, but regularly eating foods with a high amount of sodium have been conclusively shown to contribute to hypertension or high blood pressure. Chronic elevated blood pressure can accelerate aging of blood vessels and multiple organs, including the heart, and hypertension is associated with several deadly conditions, including atherosclerosis, strokes, and heart attacks. High sodium intake has also been linked to oxidative stress, which accelerates the breakdown of cellular components and impairs the body's ability to repair itself. As we previously mentioned, chronic oxidative stress can contribute to multiple age-related diseases and may lead to premature aging. Salty snacks can further harm you at the cellular level by inducing cellular senescence in the endothelial cells of your arteries. Cellular senescence is a state in which cells lose their ability to divide and function properly, and it is a telltale sign of tissue dysfunction and other age-related health issues. Furthermore, eating large quantities of sodium can also cause dehydration, which can lead to wrinkles and a loss of skin elasticity. Plus, excessive salt intake can worsen other skin conditions, including acne and eczema. Meanwhile, a study published in the journal Nature found that high dietary salt levels promoted the activation of certain immune cells that trigger an inflammatory response in the body. As you know by now, living in a state of chronic inflammation can prematurely age you, as it increases the risk of arthritis, certain forms of cancer, type 2 diabetes, and Alzheimer's disease. So, what is possibly the worst type of food that contributes to diabetes and early aging? Watch out for saturated fat meat products. This covers a range of food and drink items, including dairy milk, cheese, and processed red meat products, like bacon, sausage, and deli meats. So, what's so wrong with these staples? The answer, in short, is fat, saturated fat to be precise. Even grass-fed red meat, generally considered to supply positive health benefits, are often high in saturated fat. And while a little saturated fat can actually aid your blood sugar control and your LDL to HDL cholesterol ratio, High saturated fat intake can increase harmful LDL cholesterol, blood pressure, and other cardiovascular issues, including heart attacks and strokes. Processed red meat is particularly associated with a buildup of arterial plaque, high cholesterol, and an increased risk of heart disease, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. Red meat, especially when cooked at high temperatures, can have a buildup of those harmful advanced glycation end products, which promote oxidative stress and other aging issues. Heavily processed meats like bacon and salami may also include certain amounts of those dangerous trans fats, which can lead to oxidative stress, cellular damage, and premature aging. Also, a study published in the journal Brain Behavior and Immunity revealed that eating more red meat may cause you to have shortened telomeres, which is associated with several age-related issues, including accelerated cellular aging, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline. Meanwhile, even if you skip the red meat, consuming high amounts of those delicious dairy products, which come from these animals, may also shorten your lifespan. Studies have shown that consuming just a bit of milk, which supplies certain powerful nutrients, can work to protect against diabetes-related vision issues and heart disease. However, dairy is still loaded with saturated fat, so over-consuming these creamy fixtures may end up damaging your heart health while adding on the pounds. Plus, many dairy products tend to be cooked at high temperatures, which can create AGEs, thus contributing to collagen degradation and skin aging. Milk and cheese may also contain certain hormones and growth factors, which have been shown to disrupt hormonal balance in the body, potentially influencing the aging process. And despite the general perception that milk aids bone health, some studies have suggested that higher milk intake may increase the risk of bone fractures for older women. Also, diets high in red meat products, including dairy, have been directly linked to elevated levels of inflammatory markers in the body. In fact, an American Journal of Clinical Nutrition study showed that participants who consumed high amounts of red and processed meats had heightened levels of C-reactive protein, CRP, a well-established marker of inflammation. So it may be worth it for your blood sugar balance, your heart health, and your overall longevity to reduce your intake of saturated fat-heavy red meat and dairy products.